Tonight in the news, state government warns against erection of illegal structures on rights of way. Akbc State Education Officers Forum bestows grand patronship on Deputy Governor. Federal government sets to harmonize revenue-generating agencies for optimum productivity. President Tinubu emerges new ECOWAS chairman, urges leaders of member countries to defend rule of law. Details shortly. A very good morning to you, a very good evening to you, I beg your pardon, and welcome to Akbc 45 News at 8. I am Fort Udokan. Now the news in detail. Individuals who hurriedly erect illegal structures on rights of way with the intent of receiving compensation from governments have been advised to cease forthwith. Akbc State Governor Pastor Omoino handed down the warning in Akbc local government area, where he attended the interdenominational service in his honor. Organized by the people of his hometown, Pastor Omoino said government will not pay compensation for such illegal structure. Patience John was at the service and now reports.
While appreciating his people for putting together the Thanksgiving service, Governor Mono advised the people against erecting illegal structures on areas meant for government projects, describing such actions as counterproductive. The governor regretted the attitude of some communities that are bent on receiving compensation before allowing projects to be executed in their communities, stating that any community that prevents government from accessing land for development stands the risk of losing such projects.
Let me say, any village, any local government, we are taking development to. Now get to my friend about compensation, we will move away from that place quietly. We are prepared to develop the rural areas. I will not struggle to help my people in this village. But same in the Ongoken, we make Arusun, we make the money given to Dayan Bob. Am I reading now some for Yakana and now? They will get great compensation of the people will leave. Agbọ́dọ̀ nǹkan ní máa ké bọ̀bọ̀ mẹ̀sọ̀bẹ́yẹ di ọ̀ǹkan ufọ̀ ẹnu ẹ̀dì ọ̀ǹfà ufọ̀ bọ́ọ̀ gbẹ́dì ìdọ̀ ẹ̀yà ìpè compensation. Bọ̀gúnrẹ́ ẹ̀sùnkọ́ pẹ̀lẹ́ ń bọ̀ ẹ̀sùnkọ́ já ẹ̀kẹ́ ẹ̀sùnkọ́ nkìtìmí àbẹ̀bẹ̀dì ọ̀ǹkẹ́ fún náà yẹn rọ̀ ẹ̀gbọ́kọ̀ sí ọ múnumú gbọ́kú sí ọ ẹ̀gẹ̀mí kóòdù mi kọ́ wìrọ̀ ẹ̀bọ̀ ń bọ̀ sí ọ yẹn nọ development ẹ̀ sáà àbọ̀yọ̀.
Governor Moyo at the service paid tribute to the late paramount ruler of the area, Edidemwome James Obot, whom he described as a light bearer in the local government that brought some developmental project to the area and prayed for the repose of his soul. The governor was accompanied by his wife, Mrs. Patience Omoino, the deputy governor, Senator Okone Yarani, the secretary to the state government, Prince Kinabonwa, members of the judiciary, and political stakeholders. Patience John, Akbc News.
The people of Ikoropenudo in Nsurubium local government area on Sunday went to thank God for the emergence of their son, Pastor Omoino, as state governor. The service, which held at the Apostolic Church Ikoropenudo area headquarters, had the wife of the state governor, Patience Omoino, the deputy governor, Senator Akoneyari, among other government officials in attendance. Government House reporter Patience John reports that the governor was honored with the Joshua Award by the church community.
At the interdenominational service, Governor Moyo took the only Bible reading, said it was pertinent to return to his roots to thank God who made him successful at the polls. The governor appreciated clergymen from all the churches in Ikoropenudo village who came together in prayer and other forms of support that have helped him assume leadership as the governor of the state. In a welcome message, the immediate past CAN chairman and chairman of the planning committee for the service, the Reverend Grace Ikwere, thanked God for his blessings on the people of Ikot-Ekpenudo for giving them the #1 citizen and commended Governor Moino for the programs he has embarked on since he assumed office. He, on behalf of the people, prayed for God's blessings, guidance, and wisdom on the governor. Preaching on the theme of the Thanksgiving, the man after God's heart, the area superintendent of the Apostolic Church Ikot-Ekpenudo area, Eketfield, Apostle Ezekiel Inyang, likened the governor to the biblical David who was chosen by God to lead his people. He advised the governor to imbibe the virtues of compassion, love, and humility while wishing him success in office.
When God says a thing, that thing has to come to pass. Hallelujah. The Bible says God will bring to pass what he has appointed for me.
The Thanksgiving service featured intercessory prayers and thanksgiving by the governor and his entourage. Patience John, Akbc News.
The Akwa Ibom Deputy Governor Senator Akone Yaranyi says the Arise agenda of Umoino administration has utmost concern and an interest in the development of education sector in the state. Senator Yaranyi stated this when a delegation of the Akwa Ibom State Education Officers Forum led by the Permanent Secretary, State Secondary Education Board, Barrister Sokwa Salon, called on her. Our Government House reporter, Uturi Malkun, tells us more.
Addressing the team, Senator Yaranyi told the forum of the importance of education to the Arise agenda. The Deputy Governor, while welcoming them, called for an educational summit for the training and retraining of teachers in order to educate the younger generation for posterity. She emphasized the need for proper monitoring and supervision for the sector to succeed, explaining that any nation without quality education is bound to fail.
Education is the foundation of everything. It's a process, it's a way where the younger generation, the future leaders, process. It plays an Akwa Ibom State, by the special grace of God, has shown great concern towards education. In the time past, and then to crown it up, the Rise agenda of present administration led by Pastor Moapasi Eno gives education a key role.
The chairman of Akwa Ibom State Education Officers Forum, Mrs. Gloria Nyang, on behalf of the entire membership of the forum, commended the Deputy Governor for deeming its importance to grant them audience, explaining the belief that as an astute educationist, Senator Yaranyi will assist the forum for overall success of the sector.
Your Excellency, as we settle down with His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Pastor Moino, for the real business of delivering democratic dividends for the state. We have come to collaborate as critical stakeholders in the education sector and contribute a quota towards the formulation and articulation of the present educational policy trust.
The Director of State Quality Assurance Service, Mrs. Roslyn Anthony, setting the tone for the visit, said the purpose was to identify as well as congratulate Senator Yaranyi on her elevation.
And through it all, we have seen the good works that God has used you to do, both in the state, in the nation, and in the world at large. And we celebrate God on your behalf. And we say, thank you and congratulations for leaving positive marks in our lives. God bless you and God keep you.
High point was the induction of Senator Yaranyi into the forum as a grand patron. Utubi Malkun, Akbc News.
The role of women and girls to global transformation has been emphasized. This came to the fore as the world celebrates the World 2023 Population Day on the theme Unleashing the Power of Gender Equality, uplifting the voices of women and girls to unlock our world infinite possibilities. The celebration also seeks to highlight the crucial roles that gender equality plays in achieving sustainable development, as well as create a more inclusive and prosperous world for all. Miriam Ekotu in this special report tells us more.
Gender equality remains a pressing issue globally, with persistent disparities and discrimination impacting individuals across all walks of life. World Population Day serves as a reminder that achieving true gender equality is not only a matter of human rights, but also a catalyst for social progress and economic growth.
As far as individuals are concerned, they need a better life, they need good life, they need to go to school. There are many perspectives. So the international community to collaborate with nations is an important vehicle to drive home gender equality.
Recognizing the immense potentials that abound in empowering women and girls, governments, organizations, and individuals around the world are joining forces to address the systemic barriers that hinder gender equality.
Because I believe, first and foremost, let's look at it from the perspective of God. Okay, God created both man and woman, you understand? In the sight of God, we are equal, so nobody is inferior, nobody is less of a human, you understand? So I believe that we can be, be ruling and be winning together, as man and woman, so nobody is less of a human being.
By promoting equal access to education, healthcare, economic opportunities, and decision-making positions, societies can unlock the full potentials of half of the population.
Inam the society change. Even even opportunity, we don't want to the suffering. I really much believe Kibana name and the society. I hear fun and I get and then because of the experience and more in the world.
And well-being. All right, safety is every man's issue. But I really think the tradition, our tradition and culture places women more where they are secure.
On World Population Day, we celebrate the strides made towards gender equality while acknowledging that there is still much work to be done. Efforts to eliminate gender-based violence, ensure reproductive rights, close the gender gap pay, and challenge harmful gender norms are essential to creating a more just and equitable world.
The most important thing is that an educated girl, an educated woman is an important member of the society. In fact, a family is stable when a woman knows what to do. When we have a morally, spiritually oriented woman, sometimes they say father involvement and mother involvement in the society.
By unleashing the power of gender equality, we can foster innovation, drive economic growth, and build sustainable communities.
Every man and every woman have their own differences. I think the male child and the men also should be assisted equally. However, the weak nature of women does not really make them weak. They are very strong. Where they are strong is what makes them women. Men are strong in what makes them men.
Some believe when women and girls are given equal opportunities to thrive, they can contribute fully to society, break cycles of poverty, and shape a brighter future for themselves and future generations.
I'm so happy about the Supreme Court judgment that said there is no way you can determine and share a family's property without a recourse or considering the interests of the women.
Men and women are actually the same because we women are also human beings. Men too are human beings, so we're the same.
As we mark World Population Day, let us stand committed to dismantling gender inequality by promoting a world where every individual, regardless of their gender, can reach their full potentials. By working together, we can create a world that will cherish and value the contribution of its members. From the popular Ibon Plaza, Miriam Ekotu, Akbc News.
We'll take a break here, and when we return, federal government sets to harmonize revenue generating agencies for optimum productivity. And President Tinubu emerges new ECOWAS chairman. This and more when we return. Stay with us.
This is home, where we all belong. The place where life is beautiful. The peaceful ambience we enjoy when we live together in unity and love. It's only man and you know. We go stand together, we go make them better. We be brothers and sisters, no matter where we day. It's only man and you know. No matter where we day, we are one. Let's live together in peace and harmony.
You're still watching AKBC 45 News at 8. The Deputy Governor, Senator Akbc, has sued for peace and harmony among residents and communities in Akwa Ibom State affected by boundary communities. Senator Yari made the call during an interactive meeting with local government chairmen, paramount rulers, and other stakeholders of the affected communities. Government House reporter Otuimakon says the meeting held at Apan Salmon Hall, Governor's Office, will report.
The state chairman of Boundary Committee, Senator Yaranyi, while addressing the people, noted that boundary, interstate and land issues, if not properly handled, led to loss of lives and properties. She said it is our responsibility to interface with people and see how best each issues can be resolved peaceable, having noticed that about 21 issues in the handing over note from our predecessor. She explained that the new administration, led by Pastor Moino, preaches against bloodshed and communal skirmishes.
This is my first interactive meeting of the Boundary Committee that by the special grace of God, I serve as the chairman. Akwa Ibom State is known as a state that loves peace. Peace had been there, and we will, as a new administration, do everything humanly possible to ensure that we continue to maintain peace in our various local governments, in our various communities, between brother and sister. We are all one.
Maiden meeting attended by 78 persons, including chief security officers, 18 youth leaders drawn from various local governments in the state, featured interactions by chairmen, paramount rulers, and stakeholders.
Let me also salute your bold initiative to let us know that we have better access to you as far as the issue of boundary dispute settlement is concerned. Well, as council chairman, we are always available, always ready to play our role to ensure we have a peaceful local government. Because if we don't have peace in our different LGAs, a lot of distractions, a lot of attention would have been spent on some other thing other than development.
I would suggest where there is no permanent solution immediately, I think it is pertinent that government will step in and take over such land immediately, rather than waiting for too long.
I would appreciate if you could encourage the chairpersons in these two local governments to take involvement so that we could bring this issue to an end.
So let me not go far. We shall come and see as excellence and brief her so that she may know where His Excellency is Papa, the former Deputy Governor. I believe she will build on that and it will build it better for us to have peace in it. So thank you.
One of the security operatives in the state said they were on the same page with the state government to ensure that peace was maintained in the state.
We are on the same frequency with the state government to ensure that the peace we meant is sustained, and crisis that takes years in other parts of the country to resolve.
Otumi Maukun, Akbc News.
The federal government is set to integrate the activities of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agencies, NEMASA, and the Federal Inland Revenue Services agencies in Nigeria. The special advisor to the President Bola Tinubu, Zak Adedeji, disclosed this on Monday to newsmen, saying that government will double the country's total annual revenue, which is currently below 15 trillion naira, by deepening the nation's revenue collection system and not by adding extra taxes. According to President's Revenue Chief, Nigeria has a revenue problem, expressing the hope that the current administration will tackle the challenges through fiscal discipline and harmonization of revenue channels, using technology to view all government revenue generating agencies in real time. Adedeji clarified that the Tinubu administration is not going to collapse revenue generating bodies like the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, the Federal Inland Revenue Service, the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, and the Nigerian Customs Service. Rather, he said it will use technology to integrate all revenue in real time and remove any form of government within government. The President Bola Tinubu has urged leaders of the West African sub-region to work towards achieving peace as well as defending democracy. President Tinubu, who was unanimously elected as chair of the 16-nation Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, at the 63rd ordinary session of the Authority of Heads of States and Government of the sub-region, reflected on the threat to peace in the region, which has reached alarming proportion with terrorism. The president unfolded his agenda for elaborate socio-economic plans for the sub-region and encouraged trade and investment among member states. President Tinubu said Nigeria will organize a trade and investment summit in October to drive home the importance of private sector-led economic growth in the sub-region. The ECOWAS chair called for improved private sector participation in the effect towards the economic development of member states as well as their social integration. Meanwhile, former Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari has congratulated President Bola Tinubu on his emergence as the new chairman Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. According to his spokesperson Garba Shehu, this was announced during the 63rd ordinary session at the Authority of Heads of States and Government of ECOWAS held in the Republic of Guinea-Bissau. Former President Buhari expressed excitement on the news, emphasizing the significant responsibility of Tinubu's shoulder. The former president urged the citizens to assist him to do well and not to disappoint the people. He prayed the Almighty God to guide Tinubu's tenure towards the restoration of ECOWAS as a stronghold of democracy, good governance, and a leader who will combat terrorism and climate change across the continent. Akwa United have qualified for semi-finals of the Super 8 tournament in Lagos. The team defeated Yobe Stars 2-1 in their first match and pipped Rivers United 1-0 to achieve defeat. Akwa United will take on Lobby Stars tomorrow, Wednesday, in a less than important match. Uchenna Collins scored the only goal of the match. In the other group matches, Remo Stars shared 1 point 0-0 with 0-0. Yobe Stars similarly played goalless with Lobby Stars. And with that sports story, we end the news tonight. But just before we go, let's take the recap. Individuals who hurry to erect illegal structures on rights of way with the intent of receiving compensation from governments have been advised to cease forthwith. Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Omoino handed down the warning at Ikoregbenudo, Nsedubium local government area when he attended the interdenominational service in East Anna. The Deputy Governor Senator Akonoyarin says the Arise agenda of Omoino administration has utmost concern and interest in the development of education sector in the state. Senator Yarin stated this when a delegation of the Akwa Ibom State Education Officers Forum led by the Permanent Secretary State Education Board, Barrister Asukwa Selon, called on her. And that's our news tonight. Thanks for being with us. I am Ofot Udoaken. Good night.
cannot separate. You don't have to be shaken. You don't have to run from place to place. You don't have to fear, because there is a God beyond fear. My God doesn't have opposition. I say my God, the God I'm preaching, does not have opposition. Change your life and change your garment. Change your thought and change your location. There's a God beyond doubt. There's a God beyond unbelief. Whether you believe it or not, He is there. When He moved to do something, your unbelief cannot stop Him. When He moved to bless you, your poverty cannot stop Him. Can I hear you say yes?
Jesus Christ. Solid Rock Kingdom Church, changing the way we think about God and ourselves.
Now, Apostle John Okoriko.
Even I'm poor, very, very important. Even me. I need them. For many them, to give them, okay. Look, amount you them, would you ever remember? Very, very important. Mamma Kama, a fundamental law. Moon ye them, when I'm as a Yanganam, Kate, a pump of a Siega Nama, my dear Rimburum, other in Amidemamo. Could embedded Rimburum here, the Mount ye them, would ye? A bang years a periodic bone, would ye? Ururang, Uriampo, Usanga. Make a meeting defam, young, a sweeter man, and ye them. A command Bobazena mono finidum mutu you song you for. A bono mutu no song no for on to go, you know, the Kentia idem. And ye kuna. Idem a song would work and Bukrum Bossa Basianam. Bukru Tapang Bobas, idem a song would work and. Median sitting dear Basiaga Namideme, yes. When I can't Genesis, I get a bocus and a tioke. And ye budu. I spend the whole day. A budu. Kagasakin and ye buto woman. Can say how much time can you run away give it for the water? I spend a whole day. A day in that time, I do 1,000 years. God spent 1,000 years creating the body. I spend a second kept breathing. Therefore, hear me, dear from waking where would you go bata? Mesabat. So in here, Basaka Ben listening where Kidema when you get Buto in here do we bata. But everybody in here you get tear a Buddha was for idem me, idem fu, other a miracle with the pempo. With that idem for me, a week would the younger fin. With that idem for a camp for Puny a fin. Puny a fin could have many them, and I'm more to be the matter. A tem for yam padiam possessed. A camp for yam pasiam possessed. You're going to know Ben Rick Bunny Temberg, Nampon, no item make a numter, Upem Pokin interactive service. And ye more we bad. Input mean. Hello? Kase, agbadi do so for body yonka. But it do body rimburum. No. So idem are very, very important. Become ikobasibanga. Idem si dongam kidem. Ikobasimi angwa minetiti. Rino he said the emblem come idem. Okay, they work and do young of in a rimburum, but he didn't. Baga won ye kun, Baga won ye kun, Unama ye kun, I do one ye ba. He came again to young of you know some mother from me came again the control by Mom Pondaga bag a rimburum. Okay, they work again to young of him. Bogado ye. He didn't. Them. I could come with Akpa, with Peter, Eburita, of an shared wood.
Oh, would Emi Madu Wim? I know your modi credit for Nini. Yan Fare de Memoki, dear. I know women for in one more Kebiana.
All right. Etiaco, oh, it is spirit. Oh, a man decreed them for go woo. A two them for me come forward it up a rimburum. He called by zero. He calls it constant. Ababa, adi birum po mbanga mpo sibanga wu. Awu kedi ma de wem. Emi here posit uwem. Ba maga go posit de wons. Ama ido yo da magbodo yin. Opposite uwem adosu. Bible bo bodo me di yon bo bang am pa di yon bo bang okut yon bo bang onana yon bo bang ikbe yon bo bang ofen yon bo bang odon ebo awo keri mad wem adi nyon ayem de ndi kredi foni ni awo kere gododo di ma wum ikbe yeme ki kom baga di define bo kere ku wum o ima afen ko ibada ima you won be define sem po do ma senam mpo kere gododo ke rimburo mi fo mera odudu wo sneki ma adi dok mpo do no di yamba nan tan menyu tam uswa abebet mpo no ka ima ododok mpo no di yega Bible bo ki ma bobok mpo dian no mpo fo no ma ima anye odudu ndi na mpo titi nka no soa bedegi kpem nyi soa culture nyin ki bibio ana onege Yoruba ana ke nya don ku soa mpo kere ko fo soa uswado aya wo janna fin akpon se fo ma anyo ben fin o ben kporo asangade ima anye rudu di tokpo no kpede wo ara gbema so we so so anwa esua ewa bere wo kede ko me anwa ama ewa ya kente wa ye nwa wo kwa mambre bibio amambre kembre ka ofo ya kente mbre anye me ade aka ofo anye kwa ma music ikwo ya kente kede me kasere de me radio de me television ma ese tie na adok nkporo ono ide mamo ima anye rudu etiti amen awo kedi ma de wum ano ngaye me di foni ni ide ofri ni fon ade wang to go yire manaken sege yine dai kun pose mo de ne ke ni fi ka banga e kun moto e kun tiu fo e kun tiu son e kun tiu fon wet mo ma me tek ben ke ne ma e ya nuk to go yine do mo ke pem po ke fan o pem po di ndam no mo ke da se dot mem pose mo ke credo no ide mam imande imang wede ya nam no di on wet agbaza so an wet obo di on wet amen imau to tum seye afoma to tum se fo ama akpese na sede no bogomo ku di on wet afoma uso tum me wo ma adi na mutum ke bank titi me ibu no de nyi egbo me mo iket me nyi egbo mi keto just adis na ke bank zendo kwa oberasen to be tie dress very well etang ko anak bogo kinro bogo no fin ngai mana ka ko adi do boy infu who treat very well so we ngai ma bogo emma u foribo emma adi na mutim ku foribo emma me nurses emma medical doctors yaket amoy be mai mporo yaket tima do dromo bodo moy ne ono ina mutim ke mende do moy nuk tom moy sana kini ma do ama aswa body dia hello ke yo wanga be am fena me kere wo ke di dong nyane ma bu am pare ni na fo di dong ifen bu na di si anyane dong aga bongi dong mi aka America na akbun yo ga se ba afru dong uke no se be bre no ri bre ku fo ba se nya mai akbun yo kama do da America aga tie be mbonye ko me ga wat taxi me ga ku kan ngin e ma di ka America ga wat taxi be ri me wat do kan ko me America America ke Yerusalem. Jadi Yerusalem ko me. Yerusalem